Hey folks, it's Ted Cantu with the Miracle Mindshift, and I want to thank you for watching this. This is season two officially, where we did the first season with like 57 days of change. A lot of little minor miracles happened in the middle of the recording of all those shows. And this, I took a huge break because a lot of cool stuff happened, and I want to go over it with you. We have a lot of show. I have a lot of notes. So I want to see if I can keep it brief. I always say that, but I must see if I can really keep it brief. All right, so let me just go right into the show. All right, so we're talking about the subconscious mind, the quantum field, and that was really season one. What I'm going to talk about today is an extension of all of that, and you're going to see some really incredible changes. I really want to talk about the negativity uh, that I, that started happening around August 1st, and I had family and colleagues chime in some really super negative comments, and it didn't really dawn on me at the time that what we're really looking at right now is the beginning of the holiday season because that usually seems to bring out that sort of rancor in people that are close to me. And I had to take a step back and let them go because um, anybody who is in your life that only offers the following: anxiety, ridicule, slanderous comments, and basically the whole raising of your blood pressure. That's all they contribute in your daily life experience. Then you gotta let them go. At least that's what I do. I love them from a distance. And we said on the show before, Jesus loved everybody, but he didn't like everybody. Think about the Pharisees and that sort of stuff. Think about that. A priest told me that one time, and I thought that really kind of rings true. So I don't wish harm on anybody, but I do have to uh, make some distance if that's their only contribution to my daily life experience. I need to think about myself and cut the vibration out. So let me just tell you what happened. This is really interesting stuff. This was around August 1st, and that's when I knew the holidays were coming. In Michigan, we do it like for 4 months, which is insane. Chicago, New York, not so much. We actually we don't do that for 4 months. We have business goes on as usual up until the day of the holiday, and then the right next day after the holiday, you go back to work. That's what you do, but not so much in Michigan. So um, I'm going to move this along. This is really interesting stuff. Now, Catherine Ponder is a really great author. I'm going to show you. Uh, I'll just show you on screen one of her books, and we're talking about the laws of prosperity. It says nature abhors a void, and it's true. So when you get something that's negative and you remove it, the universe will put something back in its place, depending on where you are vibrationally. It can be good or bad. So keep your energy at a high level. Keep your vibration high, and your whole aesthetic. You want to keep it really, really high. It happens with physical objects when you clean out your office space or your home environment. But it also works with people too, which is really interesting. So I just want to move into this next section because this is really cool. Now, I don't know where some of these people came from, uh, but I was glad they did because they really fit a spot that I didn't think was gonna, you know, uh, be possible. I want to show you who showed up. This is really interesting. So I met this girl named Shelly. She's an artist, and that's her picture here. Uh, Another woman showed up named Laura. She is really great with people and fits into my business design that I'm putting together called The Win. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because um, this really was a catapult to some areas of my life that I was going to put on hold until I moved back to the East Coast. Like the whole painting thing, the whole art thing that I wanted to do. I was going to wait until I moved back. But what's really, really cool about it, these people have been extraordinarily inspiring to me. And I went back to the canvas and I started doing some really awesome work and started putting a show together. And right now, I'm be pitching it for a gallery in Birmingham, Michigan for a show. And I'm also going to be doing some reprints and some G clays. Okay, now you might just say, so what? But I want you to pay really close attention because during this whole process, I was getting really, really close with the Holy Spirit. And I was actually visiting the Holy Tabernacle. See, because I'm Catholic, so that's my St. Michael medal. And what started to happen was my art started getting better. And I want to show you a before picture of Iggy Pop that I was working on. You can see it's kind of like pedestrian. It's not like really super awesome or anything. But with this new aesthetic and this new zeal for attaining higher energies and directing it towards the new pieces, there was a big transformation. They started to transform into a whole different type of experience. And it happened with a number of paintings of mine. I took a canvas that was kind of unpopular and I put some life into it. And then all of a sudden it just blew up and became something new. And it was exciting. And all of a sudden I was really super excited about my show. This is some new stuff. This is Sid Vicious, Nancy Spungen. This is I did a thing for Michael Stipe from REM, as well as REM. I did a piece for Van Halen, and wow, Sam Kennison, who we talked about on the show. I started putting these pieces together, and it was really interesting to me. I decided to go ahead and stop stagnating on my goals and dreams and just start pushing this forward because there's that one parable that Jesus talks about with the talents, and he hands out these, the parable about the master who hands out the talents to his servants, and some of the servants will actually double the talents, and they made a really great, return on their investment. And then there's a one servant who buries his one talent and gets chewed out and by his master. That parable always kind of like kind of bothered me. I never really wanted to be that servant. I always wanted to be the one that uses all of his gifts. So I decided to not really so much believe in someday, one day I'll get back to my art. I'll do a show. Someday may never come. I just lost a dear friend of mine. So things happen in life. I decided to embrace it and to move full forward. Okay. So that's the I'm setting up the stage here for what happens next because it's really incredible. I just want to show you that it works with people as well as things and objects. So when you clear a space that's negative, put your intentions high and call in the highest good, and it will be replaced with something better. I just never thought about it before that it actually works with people. So this is really wild. All right. So I'm moving ahead to part two of this because this does tie in quite a bit. I have a lot of self-improvement books I bought from the Mayflower Bookshop, Borders Books, Ann Arbor's, Crazy Wisdom, online, and many other sources. Not all of them really ring true for me, though. And I thought about this because some of those books I really, really understand and appreciate, and some have never really clicked. Now, I was thinking, would they click better if I fixed my brain chemistry? That was a real big takeaway moment this week. And I decided to go out and fix my brain. Now, here's the point. I got mugged in Chicago. I got mugged in Connecticut too, really bad. I got kicked in the head, and half of my brain was numb from being in the hospital and getting pounced on. And I'm sure that, as well as some of the childhood traumas that I had as a kid, uh, probably gave me some brain unbalance. I never really fixed it. I fell off a bike when I was a kid. I had like a big goose egg right here. And I had another one over here, kind of balanced out. And it's not funny, but that's what happened. Now, I decided to fix the neurotransmitters in my brain. So I'm looking at brain chemistry now. I'm looking at like things like serotonin, melatonin, uh, magnesium, vitamin Bs, and I started to decalcify my pineal gland, which is the seat of manifestation, right? Is this stuff real or is it just hokey, nonsense? Oh, let me tell you what happened along with this path, this amazing journey. I started to manifest some really incredible dreams in 3D and in color, and as many as five a night. I didn't write all of them down, but they're pretty intense. I noticed it within the first few days, which is really incredible. And I mean, they're futuristic, almost like AI dreams. They're almost like super, what can I say, Technicolor, 3D, movie quality. I've seen futuristic cities. I've met people in my dreams that are famous, actually, which is really interesting. Um, Let me just explain. I have a lot of different influences because I got a lot of interest in film and music and art and everything. But I was visited by Al Franken, the comedian from Saturday Night Live. Some of you guys know out there I'm a huge SNL fan. And it was really strange because I met Al Franken, one of the first comedy writers of SNL, as a caveman. Like his first generation on this earth were caveman people. I was a caveman too, in this really strange dream. And we were going to our first comedy workshop together in a cave, like the Lascaux caves in France. That was our theatrical backdrop. Really strange premise, but this is what we did. And wow, from there I met Howard Hughes. I flew inside the Spruce Goose. I don't know if you remember what that was. That was his gigantic airship he made out of wood that was commissioned, for the government back in, around World War II. Crazy stuff. I also met comedian Paul Lynde during the Roman Empire times. He pissed off a bunch of Roman gladiators and we were on the run together. Now, why am I telling you this? Because those dreams are not going to happen to you. You're going to have your own experiences. What I'm saying is that my dreams were higher elevations of myself. I became a higher elevated version of myself. And those dreams really pertain towards me, but only in a new, fantastic way. What I'm saying to you is that there's higher dimensions of the self, and you will actually start to meet some of those properties when you fix your brain chemistry and you also dig deeper into the field of manifestation and development. That's part two. Okay. Part three, which is really interesting. As I'm doing this, I'm also reminding myself that I'm elevating my frequency, and that's optional. If you want to reach a higher status of yourself, and there's this area of development. I'm just going to go into it real quickly, called the etheric field. And the etheric field is this invisible quantum reality that's around you, your energetic field, right? Of all the probabilities of your dreams, your aspirations, what you want to be, um, your highest self, your lowest self, too. If you don't watch your thoughts, if you don't watch your anger, you get pulled in these lower energies. These are things that have not happened yet because you've got a spiritual body, you've got an energetic body, you've got an emotional body that's invisible, that's around you, part of the etheric field. And right here, we're 3D, we're the dense form, we're about as dense as you can get. And on this level, we can't see all the etheric things, all the energies, but they're around us. So we're kind of only limited right here by our five senses, what we can see, feel, touch, and taste, right? Most of us live only in that dimension, never thinking for a moment that you can actually change the projection of where you want to go by tapping into the higher energies. Now, how do you do that with higher energies? How do you tap into that field? You could do it with flower essences, which is known as essential oils. You could smell that, transport your higher energies and your thoughts to another place, calling in only the good through meditation. You can do it with incense. You can do it with really awesome kilohertz sounds, like these spiritual energy sounds. You can find them on YouTube. Genius sounds, love sounds, emotional, uplifting sounds. Look into that because that's really interesting stuff. I'm going kind of fast because this really is an incredible study. So the art is becoming tighter, better. The people I'm meeting are they're replacing some of the negative people that I had in my life. They are uplifting, inspiring, and helping me achieve a higher sense of myself, which is great. I'm not stuck in the same place as I was, in a vibrational prison, really. And what else? I was visited by an angel this morning. Now, you're gonna say, "Wow, maybe I've gone too far," but I uh, I had to be someplace early this morning, and I heard this little voice say, "Hello," like a little chime, like "Hello," a real tiny, tiny little voice, and it woke me up, and my eyes popped open, and it wasn't scary, but it was very spiritual, very awakening, eye awakening. And I was able to get on time, up on time at 7 a.m. on the dot, which is really interesting with no alarm clock. So these are the things that are happening when you fix your brain chemistry, fixing your light body, your chakras, uh, things are lining up. And you got the neurotransmitters right here that were probably knocked out of my brains for a long time because I never replenished them. And now I got full circuitry right here. And the top of my head right here actually opened up like a can opener, and I could feel like energy coming in. That was like I think that was yesterday. And wow, I just gotta say, I'm in a very powerful space, in a very uplifting space. Now, let me say something else too. I happened to go onto my high school uh, website, classmates.com, I think it was. And I was just checking around some kids that I grew up with. And I was kind of alarmed to see some people that I grew up with that had very negative circumstances. And they chose, for whatever reason, to stay there emotionally. And you could see it on their faces. You could see pain and sadness. Uh, and it really bothered me. It bothered me because we have the ability to choose, to overcome, and to pick the direction that we want to move into, to be prolific, to be inspiring to others, to grow and to forgive and to be better versions of ourselves. We want to be the highest version of ourselves. But some people don't do that. They stay stuck for whatever reason, either because they believe in what they're told, they believe in what other people have to say about them, and they become vibrational. Um, what can I say? They become stagnant. When you do that, all kinds of things can happen: mental illness, depression, disease, uh, chronic depression. You wonder why what is this big pharma industry makes so much money off of the human condition is because people just want a quick, easy solution to get out of a vibrational state. They never think about healing themselves on a mind, body, and spiritual connection, which is so real. It's not new age. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. That's in the Bible. Fearfully and wonderfully made. But I also think that we can actually become depleted, not through our own fault, but we got artificial food, sources, uh, all kinds of chemical addictions, painkillers, and who knows how big this is. Um, would you like to learn how to break free of all that stuff? In the words of Alan Forrest Smith, he calls it humanity. It's true. Um, but I think the brain chemistry stuff is a huge thing that needs to be addressed in so many of us, in so many of our lives. I'm also looking into a lot of Ayurvedics lately because I really believe in the power of, the culture of Ayurvedics, which stems from India. A lot of healing there. And so, anyway, those are my thoughts. And that's the trajectory that I'm going to be on for, I would say the next 6 months and beyond, just to say safely. And it's an amazing journey, as Pete Townsend would say. And basically, that's what I have. I'm on the course now of heavy manifestation. I'm rechanging my company. We're going to be mostly based in Chicago and probably Ann Arbor to start. That's the safe play for right now. And then my New York plans are kind of on hold for the moment. But I am back to work. I am doing art, and we're going to have reproductions, t-shirts, G-clays, mugs, wall hangings and tapestries, whatever else you can think of. So these things are in the works. Okay. You have any questions? And I'm sure you do. My name is Ted Cantu, and that's my company, the Miracle Mindshift, and the Win. That's me over there, the marketing side of things that we do. And my number here is 248-277-6141. You can always email me at tedcantu@gmail.com. And look for us at Hot Metro Finds. We got some really cool things going on. And I'm just happy to still be here on planet Earth and dispensing advice and living my best life and discovering new things and sharing it with you. So I want to thank you for watching today. And until we see each other again, I'll see you online. Thanks for watching.